On the news, millions of naira lost as fire guts Supreme Court building in Abuja. Tribunal dismisses People's Democratic Party's petition, upholds Governor Sanwo-Olu's election. And federal government confirms 7,202 diphtheria cases, sets up emergency team for increased response. Hello, welcome to the news on TV360 Nigeria. I am Simisola Adigun. Normalcy has returned following a fire incident at the Justice's Chamber of the Supreme Court complex in Abuja. The complex, situated at the three-arm zone, was engulfed by the fire at about 6 p.m. on Monday. TV360 Nigeria's crew in Abuja was at the scene of the incident and files in this report.
It was a day better forgotten in Ori as staffs and non-staff of the Supreme Court Abuja arrived at the complex to the startling reality of a raging fire burning through the Justice's chamber. Those who were already present at the workplace artist camp are for safety. Debris, charred materials, and these empty fire extinguishers tell the true story of the fire incident. According to the head of Justice Library and former union leader at the Supreme Court, Bala Chamba, the management of the court is responsible for the undesirable situation.
The point is, after the fire has started escalating to other chamber, that was when they arrived. As I told you, NJC Functional Fire Service, they are the first people to arrive. Even when they came, the fire they have exhausted, the water they have exhausted all the water. There is a particular point in case of such incidents where if their water finish, they're supposed to tap on that line to fill their tank. Could we believe that even that one is not it has not been maintained by the management? They open it, the water is there, but it's not functional. They're supposed to put one, they're supposed to be checking it in case of something like this. It's not even working. And money is being budgeted for all those reasons. That was why I blame our management staff for all this that happened.
Despite the losses incurred running into millions, no casualty was recorded.
Honestly speaking, I want journalists to keep on following how much will be spent. That's the only thing I will tell you. You know, in government business, if it is a private sector, maybe with 1 billion, I can work on it. But in government sector, you know, there are ways they award contracts. You understand? All those percentages and other things must be taken into consideration. But I have to tell you nothing but the truth. A lot of money will be spent.
While a preliminary investigation attributes the cause of the fire to an electric malfunction, the Supreme Court is yet to issue a statement, just as the Federal Fire Service and the Nigeria Police Force are expected to come up with detailed investigative reports. Tamilore Akinkwole, TV360 Lagos.
The Lagos State Governorship Election Petitions Tribunal has upheld the return of Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu as the duly elected governor of the state. In a unanimous judgment read by Justice Mikhail Abdullahi on behalf of the three-man panel on Monday, the tribunal held that the petition of the People's Democratic Party (PDP) and its governorship candidate Olajide Adediran lacked merit and dismissed the petition. In reaching the verdict, the court first dwelt on the preliminary objections raised by the parties before considering the issues raised for determination. To health matters, the federal government says 7,202 cases of diphtheria have been confirmed across Nigeria as of September the 24th. In a joint statement on Monday, the Ministry of Health with the Nigeria Center for Disease Control and Prevention (NCDC) and National Primary Healthcare Development Agency said the cases were recorded from 105 local government areas in 18 states, including the FCT. It added that 6,185 of the confirmed cases were recorded in Kano. The ministry said since the confirmation of the outbreak, it has been coordinating surveillance, laboratory investigation, vaccination, case management, and risk communication activities through its agencies. In other stories, the Trade Union Congress, led by its president, Festus Osifo, has organized a peaceful protest to let out its grievances with the ongoing closure of the offices of the Road Transport Employers Association of Nigeria by the Lagos State government. Osifo criticized the Lagos State government for disobeying the directives of the Lagos Division of the National Industrial Court of Nigeria, which ordered the reopening of the closed premises. Our correspondent, Sydney Okafor, has more details in this report.
Leading members of Trade Union Congress in this protest, which kicked off from the popular computer village Ikeja, is the president of the National Umbrella Organization of Workers, Festus Osifo, along with officials of the Road Transport Employers Association of Nigeria, RITEN. The protest is the end result of the decision taken by the Lagos State government after it announced the dissolution of RITEN, its elected executive committee, and its operation in Lagos State, giving rise to the crisis between the road transport workers and the National Union of Road Transport Workers, NUT. Arriving at the final destination, the Lagos State House of Assembly premises, the protesters were not permitted entry, leading to about 15 minutes of dialogue with the security personnel manning the gates. Members of the union who are here to plead their cause finally gained entry into the premises of the House of Assembly, and the TUC president says RITEN is on the exclusive list rather than the concurrent list. Hence, the Lagos State government does not have the authority to ban it.
Nigeria constitution must be respected. So we went to court. When we got to the court, at the end of the day, we followed the process and there was a ruling. April, May this year, a ruling came. And when that ruling came, it was clearly spelled out that the government does not have responsibility and powers to proscribe a union.
Osifo said that the Lagos State government must obey the order of the National Industrial Court to promptly vacate the RITEN office so that the executive committee of the union can continue to carry out their duties.
Sometime last year, Lagos State government woke up and proscribed one of our affiliates, the affiliate of Trade Union Congress of Nigeria called RITEN. They were proscribed from Lagos. And having done that, they also went ahead to take over the offices of RITEN. The day they got there, they took away monies up to millions of nairas. They took them away. They took documents away. They took the properties, including 2 vehicles owned by the Trade Union Congress of Nigeria. Lagos State government took it. And even today, they are even using those vehicles in the streets of Lagos. This is not a banana republic.
The deputy majority leader of the Lagos State House of Assembly, Kashimu Adedamola, gave the union members the assurance that their demands would be fully met by the Assembly.
We are very pleased to have you before us, and I can assure you that this presentation you are about to make is a presentation that would yield results. I am telling you this because I know you have come to the right place. At the House of Assembly here, we stand above every common standard of excellence. I'm sure that we have proved that to you times without number. Recently, in the past, and in the future, we'll continue to do so. So I can assure you that as you submit this letter, even though we have heard a bit of what you had to say, and I know that the details are in the letter, be rest assured that the message is going to be delivered to Mr. Speaker. I'm going to make sure that once we collect it officially, it's going to be forwarded to the office of the clerk.
When the discussions came to an end, the union handed the honorable members a letter with their demands as they awaited a positive response in order to compel the Lagos State government to adhere with the ruling given on April 18, 2023 by the National Industrial Court of Nigeria to reopen the closed premises of the road transport workers. Sydney Okafor, TV360, Lagos.
On security matters, troops of Operation Hadarindaji have rescued 7 female students of the Federal University Gusau in Zamfara State and 3 construction workers who were abducted by bandits last Friday. Bandits had attacked the university and made away with over 20 students from their rented lodge in Sabongida, Pugundo local government area of the state. According to military sources, 10 people, including 3 workers/laborers of a construction company, were rescued during military rescue operations following the prompt response of troops of land and air components of the Joint Task Force of Operation Hadarindaji. Meanwhile, President Bola Tinubu has directed security agencies to rescue the remaining female students abducted by the terrorists. In a bid to foster international unity with the use of art across borders, regardless of distance, Bolaji Alonge, known with his artistic name Eye of a Lagos Boy, has exhibited a collaborative art project with a Dutch large-scale muralist called Autograph. The exhibition, named 6 Hours, supports the Consulate General of the Netherlands in Lagos and explores various themes, which focuses on the similarities of life in the home city of Amsterdam and Nigeria. Speaking at the exhibition, Bolaji Alonge says one of the main goals achieved was the ability to capture and document historical moments made in Lagos.
Ours is about the distance between Nigeria, Lagos especially, and Amsterdam. So we are bringing art from Amsterdam, mixing it with photography in Nigeria. And we're having the exhibition. So what we're talking about with this exhibition is that we can work together as a people. We can collaborate. We can fuse art. We can tell the stories together for a maximum effect. So 6 Hours is about what brings us together as a people, the people of Netherlands who love life just like Nigerians. We are mixing the art, the murals of Autograph Amsterdam, mixing it together with Eyes of a Lagos Boy to give you this fantastic result you can see here.
For us, on the one hand, I think we got a lot of people that were inspired by it. We had a lot of artists, young artists that have come here that get inspiration also from this kind of initiative. We've had a kids event where we had 60 kids here. We've had diplomats, we've had art collectors, so many different layers of society that we've managed to touch in one way or the other. So for me, it really shows that while on the one hand, a gallery is a static, environment, it can be a very dynamic social, process as well. So I think it's been awesome. I'm happy.
The federal government has pledged its commitment to develop bilateral ties with the People's Republic of China in order to increase economic cooperation that will benefit both nations as part of the present administration's renewed Hope agenda. Vice President Kashim Shettima made this known at the Mid-Autumn Festival and Chinese National Day celebration held in Lagos on Saturday, September 24, 2023. Represented by the Ministry of Steel, Shettima said China's business relationship with Nigeria will bring greater socio-economic benefits to both nations. This next report has more details.
It was an evening of fun, glamour, reunion and celebrations where the Chinese community in Lagos celebrated its National Day and Mid-Autumn Festival. The event, which took place over the weekend, offered a chance to bring together the Chinese community in Lagos and Nigerians, as well as reinforce relations established by the mutual October 1 Independence Date. Guests at the event were treated to dance and singing performances from both countries. Now, what's a Chinese festival without a kung fu display and the lion dance? In his opening address, the Honorable Ministry of State, Steel Development, Uba Amadou, said China's support has significantly contributed to Nigeria's advancement across various facets of national development.
Within our respective continents, our formidable political and economic influence and our substantial population strength, these factors engender mutually beneficial opportunities for the exchange of cultural affinities, understanding and cooperation between our two great nations. We stand at the threshold of even greater collaboration between our nations. Thanks to you and the Chinese community in Nigeria has in Nigeria has played a critical role in laying the foundations for continued strategic cooperation.
Speaking further, Manasseh Jatau, the Deputy Governor of Gombe, said the state is ready for investors from China.
Gombe State is ever willing to develop, but since it cannot do it alone and it doesn't have the means, that is why it has decided to come here to present its own scorecard of what it has, what it can provide, and to urge investors to please help this young state to develop to the level that we can all benefit as countries.
While highlighting the flourishing economic cooperation between China and Nigeria, the chairman of the China Industrial and Commercial Enterprises Association, Eric Ni, said the mutual beneficial partnership has led to significant Chinese investment in various sectors of the economy.
Over the years, the Chinese community has contributed to the development of Nigeria. We have given out over 200 scholarships to Nigerian students. And we also renovate support 5 primary schools in Lagos. By God's grace, we must more support. So far we are here. Nigeria also like our own second home. So we are Chinese community must more hand support the Nigeria education and the low-income family.
On her part, the Consular General of the Chinese Consulate described Nigeria as a strategic partner and assured that the Chinese government is committed to improving bilateral relations.
There we have some landmark of Belt and Road Initiative, just like Lekki Deep Sea Port and Lagos Blue Light Railway or Lagos Ibadan Highway and some other projects. And I think that it can improve our friendship between Chinese and Nigeria people.
In the usual tradition of giving back to its host community, organizers of the event gave out 100,000 naira cash gifts to art students and other children from Nigeria low-income families. Invited guests were also handed award certificates by the 4th Council of China Industrial Commercial Enterprises Association in Nigeria. Simisola Ajigun, TV 360, Lagos. I will take a break here, but still to come, Nigeria's Azwe wins Africa's first Invictus gold medal. Details of this and more when we return. Welcome back. A recap of our top stories. Normalcy has returned following a fire incident at the Justice's Chamber of the Supreme Court complex in Abuja. The complex, situated at the 3-arm zone, was engulfed by the fire at about 6 a.m. on Monday. We also told you that the Lagos State Governorship Election Petitions Tribunal has upheld the return of Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu as the duly elected governor of the state. In a unanimous judgment read by Justice Mikhail Abdullahi on behalf of the 3-man panel on Monday, the tribunal held that the petition of the People's Democratic Party (PDP) and its governorship candidate Olajide Adediran lacked merit and dismissed the petition. Now, in case you missed any of our news bulletins, or for more updates, you can catch us on Limex World TV or log on to our website on www.tv360nigeria.com. You can also follow us on our social media platforms on Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube at TV360 Nigeria, or download our mobile app on Google Play Store and Huawei App Gallery. On Facebook, we're at TV360 Online.
Opinions are free, facts are sacred, but truth is universal.
How, in practical terms, can we, for instance, de-escalate the tension?
President must see himself as the President of the Federal Republic.
We know where the enemy is. 3 places. The Lake Chad Basin, the border area between Nigeria and Cameroon, and then the Sambisa Forest.
On Digi 360, we give you a complete dose of everything. Opinion, facts, and undiluted truth.
I hardly believe what politicians are saying in this part of the world.
A new Nigeria is possible, a future is possible.
We delve into the issues, dissect it so that you can understand it, and use it to take action.
I don't think there's any need for any governor to look for grant for ranching.
Digi 360, dissecting the issues.
Well, up next is business news with Mary Kano, who's on standby. Over to you now, Mary.
Many thanks, Simisola. Welcome to Business News. Latest data released by the Nigeria Extractive Industries Transparency Initiative, a federal government agency, indicates that Nigeria lost about 1.96 trillion naira to oil theft, sabotage, and crude oil production adjustment in 2021. In its just released 2021 oil and gas sector report, NIT explained that 68.47 million barrels of crude oil was lost in the year under review. The agency pointed out that the fiscalized production includes both crude oil and condensate, adding that by losing 68.47 million barrels in 2021, it means Nigeria lost about $4.85 billion that year. Meanwhile, reacting to this report, oil and gas expert Enifome Dejoma described oil theft as the bane of Nigeria's economy, adding that if not addressed soon enough, the nation's economy will maintain a downward slope.
I would look at it from three points. 3 points would be in terms of improved security. Secondly, would be on collaboration. Collaboration now, I mean the oil operators, host communities, they need to work hand in hand with the government. That's, I mean, now the security agencies, which goes back to number one, improved security. So the Nigerian Navy that controls the coastal waters, where our oil pipelines are being connected and run through. Community should work hand in hand with the government and improve security. And finally, which will be the third point in terms of intensifying their war on oil theft, would be on prosecution. It makes no sense if the government have an idea of who these oil thieves are, and quote and unquote, they don't go after them. And even when they do, if they've ever done, they've been actually prosecuted. Because it will send a very clear and strong message. But if the government is actually very, very serious to that point that we actually see people prosecuted, it doesn't really matter whose ox is God, or who the person is in the society in terms of the person's placement, position. But the government goes as far to show that it's not longer business as usual, where people can just steal and get away with it.
We'll take a break, but up next is Stock Market Report. Stay with us. The last trading week in the month of September has kicked off on a bearish note as investors sold stocks like Keverton, and as core mixed investors' sentiment in the equities market is what we are seeing play out as the market dipped to 0.66%, with the index point declining even further down into the 66,000 level. Now, as expected, market breadth closed with 15 equities recording gains against 37 losers, while market summary shows 6 60% decline in volume, 25% improvement in turnover, and 21% improvement in deals. Now, analysts say investors may continue to take positions in fundamentally sound stocks while we'll keep our fingers crossed and hope for bullish trading days. Now, away from the NGX, in the UK, the FTSE has recorded its worst day in over a month as the blue chip index slipped following steady gains last week. Well, European markets have wobbled amid concerns interest rates will stay higher for longer than expected. That's why we can see the FTSE and Dow Jones, that is the UK and US stocks, trading down. Well, that's all on stock market reports. Simsala, over to you.
Thank you very much, Mary, for that update. And on the international scene, the second round of trilateral negotiations surrounding the Grand Ethiopian Renaissance Dam, which also holds immense significance for Egypt and Sudan, have ended on an inconclusive note, with Ethiopia pledging to continue talks in good faith. The talks, which began on September 23 in the Ethiopian capital, Addis Ababa, brought together representatives from Ethiopia, Sudan and Egypt to address the contentious issues surrounding the GERD project. In a statement released by its Ministry of Water Resources and Irrigation on Sunday, Egypt said the latest round of discussions concerning the $4.2 billion dam concluded without making any significant progress. The statement added that the Egyptian negotiating team remains committed to constructive negotiations with clearly defined objectives. Well, up next is Entertainment Report on News Now.
It's the final week of the Big Brother All-Star season, and for the very first time, the gamers introduced the top 6 as opposed to the top 5 to have a chance at winning the 120 million grand prize. Before the finalists were announced, Vanita, Shoma and Angel were evicted from the show during the Sunday Live eviction show. The show started with 20 housemates and had 4 guests in between the show, adding a bit of spice. However, as the show draws to an end, Elebaye, Messi, Cross, Sisi, Pere and Adekunle are the only housemates who have made it to the finale. To determine the winner of the season, show host Ebuka Obi Uchendu has revealed that voting has commenced for viewers to crown the winner of the mega 120 million naira grand prize. American singer Usher Raymond has been named the headlining performer for the 2024 Super Bowl halftime show sponsored by Apple Music. Making this his second feature on the show, Usher announced his performance on the show on his X handle. He has earlier performed in the show with the popular music band Black Eyed Peas in 2011. The show, which will be held on the 11th of February 2024 at the El Giant Stadium in Las Vegas, will be produced by record label Rock Nation for the 5th year in a row. And that's it on the entertainment segment of News Now. Tamlore Akinkwole, TV360 Lagos.
Finally, in sports, Nigerian Army veteran peacemaker Azweg Bolam has made history as the first competitor from an African nation to win gold at the Invictus Games. The event for wounded and injured service personnel saw peacemaker Azweg Bolam triumph in the 69 kg powerlifting category. The 27-year-old suffered life-changing injuries serving in northeast Nigeria, where he was fighting Boko Haram militants. Despite losing a leg, Azweg Bolam spoke of his pride at representing Nigeria in Dusseldorf. Well, that's it on News Now at this hour. Many thanks for watching. I'm Simisola Ajigun. Bye for now.